big deal.
Last Sunday, I had to do this family get together, and I cooked out a bunch of brats, burgers, and stuff for my family, and it was all right. It was an okay time, even though there was, like, as I mentioned to you earlier, with all the insects out, there was like a million yellow jackets out at my dad's farm, so that was a little thing to contend with. All the same, it was okay, but I had been eating so little and just on such a strict schedule that as soon as I let myself eat too much and eat too late in the day last weekend, I just haven't been able to turn it off and go back this past week. So I literally lost 20 pounds in 2 months, and I think I probably put like 7 or 8 of them back on in this past week, and it sucks. So I got to get back on that. And it's not even that I'm eating that poorly. It's just that schedule is really important. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So that's kind of been. Other than that, man, I've just been weirdly enough, I've been just jamming a lot of Def Leppard this week, which I didn't see, coming from me.
You couldn't see my reaction on the fucking in the audio, but my head went back and then my mouth dropped open. I went
But I gotta say, I haven't done a recommendation in a while. Def Leppard's very first album, I think it's called On Through the Night or something like that. It's before they had any big hits. And it's actually a pretty rockin' album, man. It's just good classic 70s rock. It's pretty decent. So yeah, check that out.
I can't lie. I every once in a while a Def Leppard tune comes on, and as much as I would have hated it in my younger days, I can get down on some fucking Def Leppard, and I only would have hated it in my younger days because I was being a prude about music, not because I actually didn't fucking like it, So I get what you're saying, yeah. You know what I really like? I love their tune that comes on after "Waiting on a Heartbreaker." That's the name of the song, right? Waiting on a heart. Mariah Carey covered it, even leaving on the heartbreak, waiting on a heartbreak.
On the best of me. Yeah, that one.
It's either leaving on a heartbreak or waiting on a heartbreak.
Bring it on the heartbreak.
Bring it on. Okay, I knew it was an in on the heartbreak. I just didn't know what the root word was. But after that song, it goes into a track. It's called Switch, and then there's a number, and I can never remember what the number is. But it's Switch sounds down, 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 that song is the shit, dude. Wow, 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 wow. That shit, it's all instrumental. That shit is the should I keep going?
Yeah, go ahead. We're just gonna fill the next 40 minutes with that. So
just keep going. Dude, I love the guitar though. I love that fucking guitar so much in that song. It's so fucking good. Mm-hmm. Anyways,
they had that song. Not to just get all dad bonery about fucking Def Leppard, but what's that Def Leppard song? I'm looking it up now. I know it has to do with Saturday, I think.
Saturday!
Yes, it's not. I was going to say it's not Elton John. I don't know if I ever told that story on the pod. Maybe I have. We're me and a few friends were hanging out, just drinking for an entire weekend, and my buddy's girlfriend came up from Chicago to hang out with us for the weekend, and we were just hooked up every single night of that weekend. All of us were just going, Saturday, 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 Saturdays. And by Sunday afternoon, his girlfriend was like, it's fucking Sunday, shut up. But
you just go right back in her face. No, it's not Saturday.
The song is called "High and Dry" by Def Leppard. Man, I'm just as scatterbrained as you today. What's that? "Stone Cold Crazy" by Queen.
I know that's the Radiohead "High and Dry," but
but it's one of those unexpected songs from a band, much like "Stone Cold Crazy" by Queen, where it doesn't seem like it fits in their catalog, but it's still a really kick-ass.
How about Elizabeth by Kiss?
It's just Beth.
Or whatever.
Oh, well, speaking of unexpected tunes by a band, I was kind of geeking out about this one Kiss song. It's called fucking, God damn it.
Come on. Okay, I got the name wrong, but tell me that is not the exact call out for exactly what you're talking about.
No, for
Beth
sure.
by Kiss is the most unexpected song. I'd heard that song for like 10, 15 years, never even knew it was Kiss. It was like, oh, this is such a great song. And then I learned it was Kiss. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Where the hell did this shit come from?
Well, I've really been on this kick, dude, because that is a Peter Criss song. And Peter Criss didn't write a lot of songs for Kiss. The other Kiss song that I was going to mention is also not only written by Peter Criss, but also sung by Peter Criss.
Interesting.
Okay. There's a song, Black Diamond.
What was the name? I'm sorry, I was talking over you. What was the name one more time?
Black Diamond.
Okay.
And you can look up the video on YouTube, anyone who's listening, or yourself. And
yeah, I need to. I don't know this one.
There's a live performance from 1974, and Peter Criss sings almost the entire song, and it fucking rules, dude. And it sounds nothing like you'd expect Kiss to sound like, but it's really, really good.
That's interesting. Yeah, because, again, got the name wrong. I feel a little bit stupid about it. But what I'm going to say is, like, what I should have said is Elizabeth by Knights in Satan's Service. You know, like, just because you're giving the full name, like, because nobody's just named Beth. Their name is Elizabeth, you know. So I just wanted to give full respect to the, you know, that's what I was doing. I didn't totally fuck that up and forget the name of the song. You know, I did that because of something.
Well, you're not close enough friends with Beth to call her Beth.
Hi, exactly. I don't know her that well. But anyways, that's really interesting. And actually now I felt like I really had the ultimate example of a song that doesn't fit, but now I'm super curious to hear the one you're talking about, because if they have a couple songs like that, my suggestion wasn't as perfect, you know, like it was like that one stands so far alone from everything else, you know.
It does, but like my main point is just that Peter Criss, I feel, is a very highly underrated songwriter and performer, and like everyone shits on him because he's the drummer of Kiss. Who cares? But he's like, I think he has more talent than any other member of Kiss.
I wouldn't doubt it. If like he's those two songs come to mind, obviously one for each of us. And again, I don't know the one year speak. You know, I gotta listen to it. Black Diamond. That's Black Diamond, right?
Yep.
So I gotta listen to it, but it does seem pretty clear that those songs would come to mind. You know, and like I never think about Kiss at all. Like I know that I really like that one song, and you know, if Detroit Rock City or some shit comes on, like I'm gonna fucking jam to it, of course. But yeah, I think that's a really interesting point. He probably could have done a lot more, like if he would have went, you know, through yeah.
I think so too.
Instead of you guys ain't fucking horseshoes, yeah.
How many folks out there like to get high? How many folks out there like to get high? Oh, man.
We just blew out our microphones, but...
Yeah, I know. Dude, anyone listening, please, for the love of God, go on SoundCloud and look up 45 minutes of Paul Stanley's stage banter and see how long you can get through it. It's amazing.
I even recommend, because, like, I've probably gotten through it 2 times. More likely just one time I've listened to the whole thing. But it's even fun just to pull it up and just to drop your mouse into, like, random areas of the clip and just see what comes up. You know, like, that's an equally fun game to play. Like, you just click here, click there, you know, just see what the fuck he's saying at that moment.
Yeah. I just remember... It still cracks me up thinking about when we first found that, and our buddy Scott was around, and he said that was going to be his Halloween costume. He wasn't going to dress like Paul Stanley, but he was just going to go around the party saying, "Do you like tequila?"
The costume is the character, not actually the clothing. It's the persona. I like that as like a Halloween like twist in general. Just not dressing as a thing, acting like that you're like, you know, and seeing if people can figure it out too.
It kind of reminds me of Stephen Wright's joke where he said when he was a kid he found out he had a skeleton inside of him, so he just went around naked to, you know, door to door and just said, "Don't think of the skin, don't think of the skin."
Never heard of that. Never heard that one.
Stool with Matt Nic.
Who likes the taste of alcohol?
Well, it's when I hear him say those things, I know it's just crowd work, but they're such a straight edge band, and not Paul Stanley, fucking Ace Frehley and Peter Criss eventually got kicked out because they liked to drink, and like it wasn't even causing problems. It's just that they, like, Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley are such like just straight up businessmen and don't care about actually like being.
Holy shit! Like, I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, no, that's real. Like Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley are just straight up businessmen. Like they're like Wall Street thugs basically, and they kicked out Ace Frehley and Peter Criss just because they drink.
Oh my gosh! I mean, okay. So what's really funny about that is if you watch, I can't remember off the top of my head what documentary it is, but there's a certain Rush documentary where Rush opened for Kiss, and they talk about how Kiss is partying all the time, and they just wanted to like stay in their dressing room and play Dungeons and Dragons, basically. You know, but they're kind of talking. I guess now that I think about it, remember it a little bit better, they're more talking about like the infidelity and shit than they're talking about like drug use. You know, they're more talking about like we got wife and kids at home and Gene Simmons is trying to bang every girl, like, you know, like coming through. But that, I mean, what bullshit is that? It's like clearly you got your own addiction here. Like your addiction is sex, man. Like maybe I guess the one thing though is that like having sex before a show doesn't fuck up your performance the way that like getting drunk as fuck before a show might. You know, like, that'd be the difference, I suppose.
I love Rush, dude. Like I was trying to convince two of my friends last night who just love to hate on Rush, and there's so many good examples of just, I understand if you're not into prog rock necessarily, but these guys like Tool and stuff, so it's like what's the fucking difference, you know?
I mean, it's a lot more bright and melodic than Tool.
Yes,
I would say that.
I understand. Rush does have some stuff, especially when you get into like the later 80s and 90s and stuff, where it's kind of, I don't want to say frou-frou, but kind of leaning towards like just not so rock and more kind of whatever you want to call it. But I came across
Geddy Lee got really into playing the keyboard with his toes, like that sort of shit. Like, no, like, actually, he even did that with Tom Sawyer, so that's bullshit. Like that whole, that's all him toeing it up on the keys, you know?
Right.
So,
dude, I've wanted one of those. I forget exactly what it's called. I believe it was made by Korg. But I looked up because like it especially for when I was kind of going through my one-man band sort of phase, I thought it'd be really neat to have one of those. And it is a foot-controlled synth. And apparently they stopped making them in like 1972. And even just buying the keyboard part, because it comes in two parts. There's the keyboard part and then the actual synthesizer, like electronic part that it connects to. And even just the pedals without the actual machine costs like $2,000. I'm like, well, fuck.
Damn. Well, okay, so here's the one thing I would say. If you were to update the setup for this day and age, what you could do is you find a MIDI controller that you'd be comfortable working with your feet. It could even be like a drum pad.